Hey everybody, it's Mr. M and it is time for Fundations. So today we are going to have some nonsense words, some trick words, new trick words. We're going to have a sentence for you to work out and we're going to have a new word of the day. There's a lot, so buckle up, but I think we're going to get through it pretty quickly. Let's start with our nonsense words. What are nonsense words about? Nonsense words are words that aren't really words. They don't have a meaning, but we use them to work out the spelling rules and how the letters go together. Okay? They're for practice words, but not really words. All right, let's take a look at this one. What would this say? How would you say this? Well, what's the beginning? What's the first sound? If you said t, that's not quite right, because why? This starts with, look, what are the first two letters? This starts with a digraph. So those first two letters make one sound. And what is that? TH. Very good. I. So type it out. I. And what is this? We have two letters on the end, but these are what? Two L's together, one of our bonus letters. S, S, F, F, L, L, and sometimes ZZ. So this is ooh, right? The bonus letters make the same sound as the one letter. This is important because in Spanish, some other languages, LL makes a different sound. I'm not going to get into that because right now we're learning English. Ooh. Put that together. Fill. I don't know. That sounds a little Philly. See, that was a joke. It sounds like silly, but it's not. Yep. So that would be the word fill if it were a word. Very good. Let's try another one. We've learned this. This is from a few. What's the first sound? First off, it's an N, and I only know of one way to say N, and that is N. Now, what about these letters after it? Now, this was a few weeks ago. This is like 2 weeks ago we learned about this. Do you remember when I showed you the kitchen science with the flour, the water, and baking soda? And I added what? I added vinegar. And what happened? It foamed up in the cup because the vinegar changed what was already in the cup and made it different. And that was my example. Sometimes letters can change other letters in the word. In this case, the LL coming after, the bonus letter LL coming after the letter A changes the A. Do you remember how? Instead of al or ale, it's like normal A sounds, it changes it to make it sound like aw. Like aw, a puppy. So what would that be? Tap it out. Null. Null. Again, null is not a word, but this is why we're using nonsense words to practice. Because there are other words that are spelled just like this. Real words. Like haul, or ball, or call. Alright, so remember that A-L-L. All. Very good. Alright, that's enough nonsense for today. That's enough nonsense for this period. This is going to now go on to some new trick words. Going from nonsense to trickiness. Trick words. Remember, what are trick words? Trick words are words that do not sound like you would expect. And also, words that we should know, recognize by sight, because we use them all the time. So that's especially important because if you use a word all the time and it doesn't follow the usual spelling rules, you're going to be if you try to sound it out every time, that's going to take all day because you're not going to be able to sound it out. So what is this? Here's a new one. What do you think this says? What does it look like? It looks like ane or something, or maybe own. It's not. This is the number. This is a number. Which number would it be? 1. This is the number 1. This is how you spell it. Okay, so remember that. I have one thing to say to you, and that is that this is how you spell the number 1. How about this word? Was. What's different about this? What isn't the normal spelling? What would A normally sounds like a or a, but in this one it is was. And what about that last letter, the S? Sounds like Z, which sometimes happens. So usually S sounds like what? S. This is was with a Z. This is one of those ZS sounds. So was. What does that mean? It's like is, but something already happened. I was going to say was, then I remembered that this is one of our trick words. So I said was. Alright, and what about this one? Said. Said. Now this looks like something else like sa'id or something, but it's not. It is the word said. I said we were going to have trick words, and this was them. So, let's go over those again. 1, was, and said. Okay. Good work, everybody. Let's see what we can do here in a sentence. What is this? Let's tap it out. What is that first one? D, d. And again we have d. So, d, d. Dad. This looks the same, but different starting word letters. So, different starting sounds. So, what's that starting sound? So, remember that add from the last word. The starting sound H. Add. Dad had. Remember, as we just did this, one of our trick words. 1. What do we have here again? Something we just did are glued words, glued sounds. Ball. 4. This is another one of our trick words. We haven't talked about this one in a while, but this is one of our trick words. Why is it a trick word? O-R. It's another it's like a glued sound where the R changes the O. Instead of far, ah sounds like ah, it's for. O-R is or. So, Dad had 1 ball for, you've seen this name a lot. You know it's a name because it's a capital J, right? Jack. Dad had 1 ball for Jack. And now where are our trick words? 1, 4. Those are our trick words. Dad had 1 ball for Jack. So we have a glued sound, we have digraphs, we have all sorts of stuff going on here. Alright, good work. So, let's review real quick. 1 was, said, and all. Don't forget the A-L-L glued sounds, remember how to do that. And now it is time for our word of the day. Our word of the day is react. You may have heard this word. What do you think it means? You react to something. React is what you do when something else happens. Somebody acts, somebody does something, they act, and you react to it. So, if somebody jumps out and goes boo and scares you, you might react by jumping back and being scared. If you were to not do any of your schoolwork, I would react to that by saying, hey, what's wrong? You didn't do your schoolwork. What's going on? Probably call home or something and see how you're doing. If I put vinegar into a cup full of baking soda and water, it reacts by foaming up. React is to act in response to something else. What you do because something else happens. So that's our word of the day, and I want you to use that in a sentence today. Find a way. This is an assignment. It's hard. Sometimes it can be hard to work that into a conversation. Sometimes you have to set it up. So you can say that. Say, hey, how would you react if I were to tell you that you look really nice today? Set it up. If you have to do it, make it set up artificially, do it. So you use that bonus word at least once today. All right? Okay, take care, everybody.